Hi everyone, JD here. Today we're going to show you how to replace the high voltage battery in the Nissan Leaf, the traction battery, the main drive battery, whatever you call it. The big boy battery that resides underneath and makes the car move forward. So as you can see on our Leaf here, we are down to 6 bars of health, which gives us about 39 kilometers of drive. And obviously if you put that in eco, you get 10% more, yep D. So Oz was the first Leaf in Wellington, New Zealand. It was one of the first 5 or 6 Leafs in the country. Now I have deliberately fiddled with the software to change the charging profiles, change sort of how our throttle works and everything. So we've basically fiddled with this car a fair amount. We've deliberately done everything wrong to come across any problems and pressure test the system and stress it out and just try and do everything wrong so that our vehicle was the first point of failure, and that'll let everyone else see what's going to go wrong, and we can kind of preempt it and help other owners basically. So that was the point of the business when we first started it. The business has kind of changed, pivoted, I think is what everyone calls it. So we're not really in the business of fixing Leafs or anything anymore. I just thought I would make these videos to show people how to maintain their Leaves, and I'm sure it'll help people across the world, not just throughout New Zealand. But yeah, so hence why our Ks look a little bit low compared to our battery state of health, and comparative to the age of the vehicle. So again, that was all very much on purpose. So we basically filled our car to 100% every night, left it at 100% charge overnight and over multiple days and so forth. We've fast charged, I think our record is about 12 times in a single day, road tripping around the place and whatnot. So this vehicle, even though it's 40 kilometers worth of range, still actually serves us for around town. My wife has been driving it quite happily with this sort of range for obviously quite some time. And yeah, today we're putting in, it's not a brand new pack, it's a second-hand pack which was sold to me as a 10 bar pack. I have reason to believe it's probably going to be more like 8 or 9. So we're just trying to boost this a little bit, and the video is mainly just to show you how to replace the pack, show any gotchas. It's going to be segmented, so there's going to be different parts that kind of cut in and out, because basically you don't need to sit through me undoing tedious amounts of bolts and undercarriage covers and stuff. I'm sure you can all work that out yourselves. So yeah, I'm going to cut this video, get the car up on ramps. This was going to be done in a workshop with a hoist and transmission jack and everything, but Wellington's currently in a full lockdown, thank you COVID. So yeah, we're basically doing this at home on my driveway. So we're going to put it up the ramps now, and yeah, then I'll get underneath and, well, I'll show you how to prepare the rest of the vehicle first. Whoopsies. I'll show you how to prepare the rest of the vehicle first, and then yeah, show you how to replace the pack. Right, some people have asked about the dimensions of the Leaf pack. So if you're transporting it on a trailer, something that's about 1600, as the Leaf pack comes to about 15-20 long. From wing to wing, looking at about 1170, so say 1200, and top to bottom it is on a pallet there, but around about 400 in height. So sorry, a few of you people had asked for dimensions. That is the size of a Leaf pack. Right, bonnet up, as you can see it's a generation 1, and very first thing we're going to do is disconnect the battery, the 12 volt battery. There we go, tuck that away so it doesn't make contact again. So system is now dead, 12 volt systems are down, and the high voltage contactor is pulled out. Right, next step is lift your floor mats up at the back of the car, get this centre piece out the way, fold this flat back, and a 10mm socket, and we're going to undo all these bolts. So 3 10mm bolts out the way. Lift the cover up. Right, now, so as you lift this up, that's weird, it's got a smudge mark on it. So as you lift this up, which is by pushing in this tab, and as you lift this green one up, it essentially separates the high voltage pack in half. So if I show you how this works, there we go. Right, so it's a connector that now splits your pack voltage in half. So your pack is now a lot safer to work on. You couldn't power up the car in this state, it'll throw some colossal errors, and we're now basically looking at the top of the pack. Okay, so this video is in slightly tighter quarters. So basically, yeah, we put it this way, right, so the camera is now facing towards the front of the vehicle. You've got hold on these plastic covers, which are held together, or held to the car rather, by a combination of 10mm bolts, such as, whoopsies, where are we? Such as that one, and a whole ton of pop-off clips, such as things like what you see there. So my honest advice would be to start with this frontmost panel. There you go, arrow faces the front, and there's 3 of these plastic panels that you want to take off. So basically start at the front and work your way towards the rear panel. Okay, so my apologies. One, this is very, very tight quarters, and I'm not sure if the camera uses auto stabilization, but so this is what your Leaf looks like with all the covers taken off. So just to, I don't know, give you guys a bit of an idea. Now you'll notice that you were taking off an awful lot of bolts and probably no doubt thinking, hey, is the battery going to come and conk me on the head at this stage? No, it's not. These bolts here are the ones that are responsible for actually holding the majority of the pack to the vehicle. So there's 10 of those. There's an awful lot more of the little 10mm ones. Now you've also got these are again 10mm. These are the these grounding straps. So do not undo these until you have taken this out. Now these are the fun ones. This is what obviously connects your battery pack to your Leaf. So first one you should take out is your signalling one, which just, whoopsies, I'll try and show you guys. Twists, not 90 degrees, but twists anti-clockwise, and then wiggles out, and it is going to be a tight fit because of that O-ring. There we go. So you gotta sort of turn it in 2 stages. There's a first click and a second click, and then we get it over the O-ring that holds it in. So this is a Gen 1 Leaf with a ZEO body type. So a true Gen 1. I get very sick of people that think that the 40 kilowatts are a Gen, the 30 kilowatt hours are a Gen 2. They're not. So this is the front of my battery. and this will be the same for anybody else with a ZEO body type. And on the AZEOs and so forth moving forward, you have another connector, another 2-pin connector. It kind of looks like your disconnect isolator, and that is for your heat pump power takeoff. So basically it's getting power straight from the battery. Now this one here, I'm trying to show you how to take it off, but it really is kind of a two-hand job. And it's supposed to unwind itself up. Let me put this down for a second. Right, so once I was able to use two hands, basically, probably saw just before, pull the blue locking mechanism up, press down on this tab, also press down on this tab, and then you'll notice it's kind of got this this gear drive looking thing in here. Sorry, the camera is really struggling to focus. I'm about 50 mils away from this, but yeah, so basically then, as you pull it up, you'll notice it kind of rocks itself out of place. Oh, and it's a very, very big cable, right? And that's your high voltage cable from the car, also disconnected, and that's what it looks like inside. So with the now you'll also notice too, I'm using bare hands, and I've even got a conductive titanium ring. All of this is actually perfectly safe so long as you do it in the order I prescribed. So 12 volt battery disconnected first, your battery split isolator, that mechanism at the back, take that out, take the signaling out, and you can take this off. So no gloves, you know, try to still be careful, don't, you know, stick your fingers straight in there or anything dumb like that. But yes, so you can do this without insulated gloves. Like I say, I've got a conductive ring on. When these first came out, I was of the school of thought that everything with orange cables needs, you know, a lot of protective gear. Quite simply, understanding now how these vehicles work and how the system's laid out, and having done this more times than I really care to imagine, it's perfectly safe. They've designed it to be fail-safe. So now with that disconnected, your battery is electrically completely disconnected from your vehicle. So then your next step is going to be these the grounding joints, which I think there's 3, all located towards the front end of the vehicle, and then the next one is going to be these bolts here, and as these come out, this is what is going to let the battery drop away from the car. So yes, I will get these grounding bits off and get my jacks and support mechanisms into place, then we'll get this battery out. Right, so all screws and stuff have been packed up. I'm going to undo a couple of these big bolts now. So they're 17 mil. Can you tell I like to cheat? So take the front 2 out. I've left them with a bit of safety thread on them so that the battery's not going to fall out, but they're just finger tight. So the next thing I'm going to do is get some lifting jacks, put some timber here, along here, to take the weight, spread it out of the battery. 2 jacks underneath, and then basically, there's 8 of these overall, and there are 2 more earthing straps towards the rear of the vehicle, which I forgot about. So just in case anyone's using these videos to keep track. So yeah, so 8 of these. So you've got 3 along each side. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 at the front. So we'll get the jacks out and then we'll lower the battery out. Right, so we've got a bit of wood in supporting it, and we've taken all those side bolts out. So the last two that we need to get to, in order to drop the whole pack out, is here's the rear axle. Handbrake assembly up through there, rear axle, and if we pop that there, you got two brackets, and again 17mm, those two, and then you're ready to lower the jack. Okay, so I skipped over the bits of physically removing the pack. Basically, once you take the bolts out, we had it, like I say, on some blocks of wood with two trolley jacks. Drag the old pack out, put the new one in, and use the jacks to lift it up, put it into place. I did manage to strip a couple of the 12mm bolts with the 17mm heads. Have managed to strip two of those, so it's not in 100%, so the car's not going to drive anywhere. But basically, in putting the pack in, we just did everything in reverse order. So we put the orange high voltage cable into the front of the pack first. We reconnected the comms, the black round cable, and then we put the isolator splitter module, which is in the back seat, put that back in, and then reconnected the 12-volt battery at the front of the car. We've powered it on, and as you can see here, we've got beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bars. So it was sold to me as a 10 bar pack. Never know, a couple of fast charges, it might bring it back up to 10, but I'm not really too fussed. Like I say, this was more to kind of show everyone how it goes and just make the car a little bit more usable for us. Now, so we've put a pack in that's come from another car. So as you can see here, this orange exclamation mark on the lower instrument panel, and these two up here on the top instrument panel. Whoa, camera out of focus. Now these by themselves, they don't tell you anything. I just happen to know that when you swap them over, it's got a communications error between the car and the pack, because it thinks that the pack doesn't belong with the car, and in this instance it's kind of right. So how do we fix that? In the past I've done it with a laptop, and the way I've done it is disabled this error code in its entirety in the car. So basically the car is just blissfully unaware of the P3102 fault code, which is what it will flash up. So in the past I've disabled that just in all vehicles, and that kind of lets you swap out batteries and bits and pieces in the past. Now this vehicle, so this is my wife's vehicle, and as far as communications go, it's running stock firmware because I didn't want her having any issues as she's driving the kids around. So what we do now is my good friend Walter at EV Enhanced, oops, if that, where are we? Come on, focus. Anyway, there's a dongle that you can buy or rent. I'm more than happy to help people locate these. There we go. So you basically plug this in to the CAN bus with the vehicle powered on, hit the button, and you're good to go. So I'm going to show you that now. Clamber under here and plug it in to the OBD port. This should light up red. Right, so status is ready. Press the button, it will light up blue. Okay, it was actually that fast that the camera didn't catch it. But if we come back up here, oh look, that error's gone. We can now unplug that. Plug it from the port. Right. And now, just to make sure, I'm going to power cycle the car. Oops. So everything's dead. I like to wait 10 seconds because the car actually does a few checks and stuff as you turn it off and turn it on again. There we go. Power it back on. Alright. No fault code. No fault code evident. If I put my seatbelt on, that will get rid of that light. Right, so now a full, there we go. That was just me putting the park brake on. So basically, the battery is now all paired with the car. As you can see, we've got a lot more capacity, state of health, capacity bars on the side there. Like I say, I'm not going to take it for a drive because I need to finish bolting the pack in and putting all the covers back on. And then I'm also going to run a diagnostic test, not that you guys have to. But yeah, so basically that is how you replace the pack in a Nissan Leaf. I'll show you guys. I'll power that off. We'll put that on charge. And this is the old pack that we took out. So there we go, looking a bit dusty. Alrighty guys, so final steps. We replaced the bolt that got threaded out, which was one of the 12mm with a 17 head on it. So the pack's back in. We've just taken it for a drive, just very quickly, as you can see, 2 kilometers down the road, and our range is back up to 127 k's in eco, or 115 in drive. So quite a substantial improvement. Again, that 9th bar is kind of bugging me. I get the feeling that after a couple of fast charges, it may come back because the pack has been sitting for a little while. So yeah, that's basically it. So I will open up questions for a little bit down the bottom of the video, and anybody who knows me personally can of course email me. I should probably set up an email account for that. But yeah, so there's not really too much, it's not really a complicated process, so long as you are disabling the 12 volt first and taking away comms and splitting the pack. It's quite safe to handle all the cables. Then the process of dropping it out and putting the new pack back in, I mean basically start to finish, I think the first time was probably, so what you guys could expect if you're not doing this all the time, was about 2.5 hours. There's a little bit of fiddling around, taking all the plastic covers off the bottom, and obviously doing your research and getting stuff kind of organized to make sure that you got your socket set and jacks and axle stands and whatnot ready to go. But yeah, basically 2.5 hours. If you're quite mechanically minded and you've got the tools and you're familiar with playing on vehicles of any description, then you can probably do it in sort of an hour to an hour and a half. The trickiest bit is getting the battery sort of, well, not the trickiest bit, but the more physically demanding part is obviously moving the old battery out of the way and getting the new battery in and lined up, getting those bolt holes lined up absolutely perfectly. But yeah, so that's pretty well all there is to it. We're going to just monitor this battery pack and the range that we get for a little while. But that's kind of in essence how you change the battery pack. It does work, there's no error codes. It's not coming up with Turtle. So this is my first time using the EV Enhance tool. And I mean I know a couple of the guys there. They're very, very good with what they do. So I was expecting it to work first time, which it did, which is good. And like I say, my way of doing it was kind of a bit Yeah, I don't know. The P3102, I'm convinced it's only when the battery is mismatched, but it could also come up with something else, and basically disabling that on the vehicle, you're not going to be made aware of any of the other errors. So that's kind of all there is to it. Like I say, I will try and answer any questions people have, but yeah, that's kind of in essence how you replace the high voltage battery in a Nissan Leaf. We picked it up. We picked up the 10 bar or 9 bar pack for about $3,000 New Zealand. Ready to go, plug and play, for want of a better word. So that's what about $1,500 US, since people seem to like using that as a base measurement. So yeah, quite cost effective when you think this car is 10 years old and 11 years old. The car itself is 11 years old and we've had it for 10. So, as far as fuel saving goes, that's not too bad. So, yeah, we'll see you in the next video.